Evening Incense.
This is the brief on the spiritual lessons of Israel's rebellion at Kadesh Barnea. The historical events of Numbers 14, where Israel literally stood on the edge of the promised land but rebelled, well, they serve as this perfect spiritual mirror for how modern new creation believers struggle with fear and worldly temptation. First, let's look at the sheer danger of unbelief. It's crazy, but a single fearful report caused the Israelites to completely forget God's massive past miracles, like parting the Red Sea. It's basically spiritual amnesia. How often do we let present trials speak so loudly that they completely erase the memory of God's proven track record in our own lives? Second, we inevitably face the trap of returning to our own version of Egypt. When things get tough, it's so tempting to retreat to familiar, worldly habits instead of trusting God. Fear acts kind of like a funhouse mirror, magnifying life's everyday giants like sickness or financial stress. But those obstacles only look insurmountable because we're measuring them against our own small faith, rather than measuring them against God's infinite power. Finally, let's talk about the immense comfort of faithful witnesses and Christ's intercession. Back then, the terrified crowd actually wanted to stone Joshua and Caleb just for telling the truth, but Moses stepped in to intervene. Today, Jesus acts as our supreme high priest. When our own pride wants to ignore hard truths, do we realize that Christ is actively stepping in, continuously interceding for us even when we stumble and doubt? Keeping our faith in Christ's faithful leadership is absolutely the only way to overcome our worldly fears and step boldly into God's promises without turning back.